Brought to you by Penguin.
Silkfire by Zabé Ellor. Read by Kirt Graves. Chapter 1. Atop the statue of the stone dragon. 19th Zo, year 92 Rarafashi. Above all, a wedding is a financial transaction. Dress as richly as if you own a bank, and behave as politely as if you owe that bank money. Men's Life magazine. Ask Jasper. Published and distributed in the Palace of 10 Billion Swords. A good boy is a jeweled chalice. A stupid boy is a leaky sieve. A bad boy is a water pistol. I'm a bad boy. Hishura. Blood and Stone 3. The Bloodletting. Modern GK subtitles. The father of the groom stopped halfway up the aisle to spit in my face. With a bright store of essence tied to my soul, I could have dodged. But I didn't believe another man would behave so crudely in public until the hot, wet missile struck my cheek. The guests, mostly wealthy Zawa, with a few engineers for added prestige, tittered and laughed. My pale skin went scarlet. I yearned for the pavilion to collapse on my head. "Whore," the groom's father growled. "You humiliate chaste men and rob essence from our marriages. Behind that pretty face, your soul is shit and worms." I said nothing. I couldn't deny the charge. All Victory Street knew Koré a bright star, courtesan and proprietor of the High Kiss brothel. And I stood out starkly beside this man who, though dressed in rich purple velvet, had the lined face and prominent pores of a dull. He'd invested most of his essence in his child, leaving him weak and worn. I'd gathered essence from my patrons in their pleasure, brightening myself with flawless skin, racing wits, and the strength to shatter steel. Small wonder this man's wife had hired me to warm her bed tonight. The groom's father marched on to the dais, where his wife and the bride ceremonially haggled over dowry goods. The groom stood between them, silent in a skirt of translucent white, staring at me like his eyes could dagger an unwelcome guest. Spit was sliding down my neck, and I'd brought nothing to wipe it away with. I couldn't move, couldn't act. I deserved this shame. I'd accepted a contract for a wedding and invaded the most important day of the young groom's life. I'd done it not for money, not even for essence, but for an excuse to get in and introduce myself to the woman I hoped to place on the imperial throne. My long and winding path to vengeance, sundering another family. "It's okay," whispered a serving man with long, dark hair, passing me a tissue. "Your client made the mess, not you?" I wiped my cheek and neck as the ceremony began. The groom's father trembled as he touched his son's temples. Space fluttered around them, a flock of soundless starlings. The lines on the father's cheeks deepened, cracking through his makeup. Silver furrowed through the dark hair, and the skin of his chin sank low. Light bloomed in the boy's eyes, turning his red irises deep as wine, tightening pale curls and deepening muscle lines, shaping alluring beauty from a merely pleasing smile. The last tithe. I hoped the groom enjoyed this part of the ceremony, if nothing else. He'd surrender most of his essence to his wife before she chose to conceive. He'd never shine so bright again. But Victory Street would know him for a good Zawa husband, a respectable member of the ruling class. Most men found that a worthy trade. The groom's mother gave the wedding speech, detailing the goods she'd exchanged with her son. She and the bride signed the contract. Then, fashionably progressive, let the groom sign too. The bride nicked her finger and the groom's on a ceremonial razor and pressed both together. As the cheering crowd pressed forward to congratulate her, I sought my mark. Akizeke Shikashish.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?